Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're trying a new medium. So I've been looking around for some gouache, and the one that's most popular seems to be this MIYA gouache set. It comes with 18 different colors, and it comes in this nice little package that comes with a palette, which is great because I really didn't feel like buying any. And they come in these, they kind of look like barbecue sauce barbecue sauce packages. I had a really hard time getting these out of the tray and opening them, but we figured it out. I haven't painted in so long, and this is actually pretty much messier than I remember it being, which is fun. It's great. Yay. Cool. So we have all of the colors in the tray. Again, this is my first time painting in 6 years, I'll say. Well, no, I did a watercolor painting like 2 years ago and it went horribly. So this is my first time painting with gouache specifically in 6 years. And I only did one painting with gouache beforehand, and your girl really didn't like it. But we're trying this again because I really want to have a different type of medium to put inside my sketchbook. Usually I would paint inside the sketchbook with, or not paint, I would draw in this sketchbook with Copic markers. But I kind of really don't like I kind of don't like the toothiness of this paper for my Copic markers. I feel like it just takes up so much ink and it doesn't blend well for the amount of ink that it's taking up. But I do want to finish the sketchbook, so I'm like, okay, well, let me find a different medium to put in here. I love to have color with my work. I just love color. So we're working with gouache here, and let me tell you something. This was a pain in the butt. Okay, like this was just not a pleasant experience. After going so long without painting, there were just so many things I had to shuffle with. I had to take into consideration the fact that the paint on the palette is going to dry as I'm painting, so I had to keep re-wetting it with my paintbrush or misting it with my spray bottle. Same thing with the paint in the actual tray. The tops of that would dry out too, but that's just the nature of gouache. It is a water-based medium, so I don't know what I expected. I don't know why I thought that painting with gouache would be anything like painting with oil. It's really not. I want to say this painting all in all took me about 4 or maybe 5 hours to do with breaks, because I was really just trying to figure out how on earth do you blend with gouache, because it dries so fast. And then on top of that, if you go on top of a dried gouache layer with another layer of paint, but if it's too wet, it's then gonna loosen up the layer underneath. So that was fun to figure out. I was just really struggling with this painting. As you guys can probably tell by now, I was, struggling to figure out, well, what colors are we gonna mix? How do I want to mix it? If I had to do this over again, I honestly would have started with more sheer layers first, and then I probably would have built it up. But you know what? I was really trying to rush the process, which is funny because it took me hours to do, so I probably would have been better off just starting off with sheer layers, letting them dry, and then slowly building it up. I did have a base layer, as you guys could see, like from initially, but I then went straight in with opaque gouache, and I don't think that was the best move for me, especially since this is my first time painting in a long time. And on top of trying to figure out how to blend gouache, I'm also trying to figure out how to get the proper skin tone, because the model's picture really came out, she had like these purple undertones or overtones, I don't even know, but her makeup was bomb. And I don't think I'm doing her any justice. Like, I'm not doing her any justice. I'll probably redo this portrait over again once I get the hang of working with gouache. Yeah, this part, I just had to rotate the notebook. I don't understand how some people on YouTube can just, work with one angle. I'm sorry. I have to flip my painting upside down. I have to flip it. I have to turn it, rotate it. I can't draw from one angle all the time. Even though I had such a hard time with this painting, I do feel accomplished with it. You know, I keep talking about not having any pressure when you create, but oh my gosh, when you put in so much time, you want the thing that you're working on to come out as a masterpiece. But this takes progress. Since I'm so used to drawing with Copic markers and blending with Copic markers, it's, you know, you're a little bit more precise. You're not necessarily blending colors in a palette, you're blending them on the paper as you draw. Whereas with painting, you're mixing them in the palette, you're making sure that they stay wet, you're making sure that the consistency of the gouache is the right consistency, because you don't want to undo the underlayers. You know, there's just so much more to take into consideration with with painting with gouache. That just made this a little bit more stressful. But now that I've gotten this portrait out of the way, I am excited to keep experimenting with it. I don't really know. I really don't have much experience with gouache, so I can't necessarily tell you if the MIYA palette is like the best palette, but I know that it's something that I want to continue to use for my sketches because it's nice and cheap. They give you a whole lot of paint, so you don't have to worry about, you know, running out of anything or not being able to mix certain colors. I think they give you a pretty good variety. Yeah, and I'm happy with the paint set. For me to be able to experiment with color and to have something in my sketchbook, I'm really happy with the paint set. Maybe if I get more serious about gouache, maybe I'll look into getting a little bit more premium grade of gouache, but since we're just starting out, you know, we are a student, if you will, in this process. The MIYA palette is enough, honestly. As the artist, you can kind of control the outcome of your artwork. I know that obviously your medium plays a big role in how your artwork comes out, but at the same time, I feel like great artists can make anything work. And also, since I have so many Copic markers, I kind of don't want to have too many expensive products, especially since this is a hobby of mine. It's not like I'm selling work or anything. This isn't professional grade work at all. This is just me de-stressing and having a hobby. All right, where are we at now? We are about to paint the shrubbery. Oh, here's another thing that I really kind of don't like about painting with such wet mediums, is that the paper wrinkles, which I knew that was going to be an issue, even though this sketchbook is a Canson mixed media sketchbook. So you can definitely work with like watercolor and gouache and stuff, but I just don't like how the pages wrinkle up. I think I'm gonna have to find a better clip to make sure that the paper stays as flat as possible, because if it starts to wrinkle up, then it'll start to pool, or you can't really see what you're doing because the paper is raised significantly. So that was yet another thing that I had to get adjusted to. Oh man, I'm so happy that that the references I used were so vibrant, because I feel like that just made me feel better. That just made me feel better about the whole drawing. Also, I'm really not good with plants. I'm so used to painting people. I'm trying to get better at painting other mediums and just training my eyes to be able to see the details in everything, not just humans, but I'm really not the best at painting plants. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time trying to get better at that, because I do like having plants in my artwork. You know, it adds a nice little variety to the image. You know, it gives a little feel, a little je ne sais quoi, you know what I'm saying? I will say, with the scarf and the plants, how the plants turned out, they did give me a bit more of an opportunity to figure out how to blend, especially the scarf, because I was only working with I was working with 3 colors: white, a light blue, and a dark blue for the scarf. And then for the plant, I was working with green, yellow, white, and a dark blue. And so just being limited to those, few colors and being more so able to focus on blending was really nice. Whereas with the face, it's not just brown, it's not just sienna or burnt umber. You also have yellow or, cadmium red, your undertones. I ended up using a lot of magenta for her undertones. Yeah, this was definitely an experience. I am happy that I finished it. I wanted to quit so badly. I'm just like, this is not turning out great, especially in the beginning. I mean, homegirl was looking rough, okay? She was looking rough, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted to post this, if I wanted to finish this video at all. But, part of becoming a better artist is going through the quote-unquote ugly stages where you're, still figuring stuff out. Like, I'm still working on my color theory. I'm still working on, line work and being better able to see shapes and drawing what I actually see, not what I think I see, because we do that all the time. So, even though this painting didn't come out exactly how I want it to, it was still a major thing. I, in the past, would never tackle something like this, where you have a face and she's wearing makeup and she has a scarf and I'm throwing in plants and she's wearing jewelry. I would literally run away from having all of these different elements in a painting or just any type of sketch. But I am really proud of myself for sticking with it and not giving up and seeing it through. Well, guys, that is my painting. It is done. She is done. It didn't come out perfect, but your girl made progress because this was a struggle. I'm glad I didn't abandon it and, leave it by the wayside. I'm glad I followed it through and just got it finished. It came out pretty decent. Yeah, baby steps. Let me know in the comment section below what you're working on, what goals you're trying to get through, and how exactly you're working through the struggle. Because, girl, the struggle in this video was real. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more artsy, vegan, plant-based, just the time of Lori concept. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!